Hey everybody, I just want to take you through chapter 1 of Blue Orchid. This is the first chapter of many. Might be the only chapter that I'm going to be releasing in this small format. This is a thinner book, as you can see. The plan is there will be several other chapters. Not all the chapters will be called chapter 1 or 2. These are sort of more of the basic stories, and there's also going to be like sort of smaller sub-stories. I just finished a crossover with TikTok Tom, and I'm doing another small story right now called The Fire Monster. But then after I finish Fire Monster, I'm going to move on to chapter 2, and that's sort of in the bigger thing, but the smaller ones are sort of like the in-between adventures of Blue Orchid. But this is chapter 1, so this is not really an origin, but this is sort of a getting to know you of Blue Orchid. So let's crack it open. We got our opening page there. But we start off. Now, one of the things about this book that's, I don't know if it's interesting or not, but the colors are very on purpose. Basically, in this particular story, blue represents her when she's in her village, and the orange, sort of browns, represent the city. So what I've noticed a lot about Southeast Asia is when you go to the countryside, there's a very different sort of color feel to everything. Now, there are blues and even oranges within these two different areas, but they sort of represent different things. A lot of times the blues and greens in the city scenes represent the nature, and then sort of the grays and browns sort of represent the man-made stuff. So this is as we go through. Now you'll notice that this is our main monster, the rock monster, is blue. That's because he's made of rock from a mountain. So he's sort of got a more natural feel to him. And even like the trucks and stuff are gray. Bit of green here and there. I guess, use it to sort of separate some color and make things pop a little bit. But this is our sort of first, this is our first encounter where they face each other. There's very little dialogue here, but that's sort of on purpose, just because the idea is to have the action. Lots of fun now. The fight really gets started, eventually to the point when she's destroying stuff. I've gotten into drawing cities quite a bit lately. I like to wander around and find cool things to add to my city drawings. The Fire Monster story takes place completely in the city, and all kinds of, I've been having a fun time filling in that. So, but this is when you realize that there's something that goes on, something about timing that affects the Blue Orchid. And so when her timer beeps, she has to leave, and she's flying across the world and ends up back home. And again, we do the transition on this page from the orange to the blue. So that's sort of on purpose. Does her superhero land. That was inspired off of several Marvel movies. Goes in. This is where we meet her mother. And we notice her mother, the red scarf will be important later, I think. I've worked that into my story. So there's a reason why she has red and the Blue Orchid has blue. And this is where we sort of start to learn about her past, her past a little bit. Chapter 2, we'll talk a little bit more about why she became the Blue Orchid in a little bit more detail, but this is just sort of a rough introduction, knowing that there were generations of these Blue Orchids. Both her great-grandfather, her grandfather, and her father were all orchids. So then it gets down to the fact that she is a young girl, and she's she apologizes and she feels bad, but there's really not much she can do about it. She's learning and she's young. And then we meet, once again, actually her brother was in the first page right there, and he comes back again and wants to play with her sister, and wants to play with his sister, and unfortunately she can't. And so then we get some cool, there's some early sketches I did of Blue Orchid when I was designing it. And this is a sketch by Tan Patel from TikTok Tom fame. And also from TikTok Tom fame, this is Tom Yo's sketch of Blue Orchid. So, and then I've got my little bio and everything on the back. But that's Blue Orchid Chapter 1. This is available on Amazon right now, or you can go to bewarethecheese.com/Blue Orchid. Chapter 2, I'm not sure if I'm going to be releasing it in this sort of single issue. This is sort of like a preview special edition. But what I'm thinking about is once I get 4 chapters out and a few of the sub-stories, making a giant thick graphic novel, so that way you get sort of quite a bit. So if you decide you don't want to get chapter 1, that's totally fine. It will be available afterwards. The cover will be different though. This will be the only way to get this cover, and the back art will be probably different as well, the extra drawings and everything like that. So be sure to pick this up if you can. It does support me though, and you get sort of a bonus thing. And if you ever see me, I'll sign this for free. That would be great. But that's it. That's Blue Orchid Chapter 1. Thanks for watching, and make sure to pick it up again. Available on Amazon, or you can go to bewarethecheese.com/Blue Orchid, and you can follow me on social media there and keep up with all the new stuff. I often post pictures of my works in progress and everything like that. So thanks again. Bye.